What's going on, everybody? How the hell are you? Welcome to Thursday night. Welcome to Music and Mayhem, and it's gonna be an awesome show, man. I cannot wait for you guys to chit chat with my brother, with Skylar. His new song. I mean, all his shit is just amazing. Him and Kayla. When I say you get hit with a 1-2 punch, you get hit. Mm-hmm. But you guys, his new song, everything that they touch is freaking gold, man. So we're gonna be getting we're gonna get Skylar on here shortly, and of course, before we do that, we got the one and only OG. Let's
You're gonna put me on.
We're gonna do it. Yeah, we didn't get this for nothing. There's OG. There's Thing.
I'll be taking your notes.
Yep. So what? Just like before, man, she's gonna be off camera. She's gonna be laughing, giggling at who knows what. So that's gonna be OG. But without further ado, the one, the only, Skylar Ray.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All I can say, control. Mm-hmm. Control. Dude, that freaking song.
I like it.
I mean, I don't know if you heard me. Everything that you put in, you guys put your heart into this stuff. And this music, you guys never half-ass anything. And you can tell just by the way you entertain, you can tell by your music, your intensity. It's just amazing. And every song you put out just catches you. And Control, my brother, it's awesome, man. Awesome.
I appreciate you, man. I absolutely love the song. It's probably my favorite song that I've released this year. Truly in love with it. I like it. It's different. It's kind of, I don't want to say edgy, but it's kind of like on, you know what I'm saying? It's like on that line, like how far does he push? How far? But that's the thing about addiction, right? That's the thing with this whole Burnside album. I have songs that are like Skylar Ray, and then I have songs that are like the old me, right? So it's gotta kind of hit you back and forth. I'm trying to work it, right? I have so many songs done for this project, and I'm trying to get it where I could kind of tell a story, but also where there's such a separation that, there might be a second disc that comes with the album.
Well, I'll say it. So, it's a little edgy.
It's a little edgy. It's a little edgy.
That's what just catches you. No, brother, it's awesome, man. It is. And so there's a chance for more, huh?
Yeah.
So
oh yeah. I have like a lot of like the head above water, the drowning, all that stuff is like Skylar Ray. But then there's also going to be a side, right? That's Burnside because it's riddled with addiction. And so I want to kind of display that, right? Maybe like some songs that take place during active addiction. So it's kind of like the mindset, and it allows me as an artist to step out my comfort zone and kind of push that boundary of things that you wouldn't typically hear from me, or kind of just a different side, right? Because it's not always just nice and not always just like in your feels. Sometimes there's a little bit of rage and a little bit of anger and a little bit of somebody who likes to push buttons. So definitely gonna see that side.
And I tell you, and that's the bad stuff with your music. It's that real authentic. It's not that fake shit. It's in your face. It's reality dealing with addiction. And the thing is, there's no sugarcoating anything, man. This is real life. Is it time?
No. I was just adjusting her chair so she could sit closer.
But it's just that you're reaching all different aspects with your music, man. You're hitting people where they need that little bit of, okay, we need a little bit of kind of comfort zone. But then just like with addiction, you can't be sitting there babying shit and doing that, you're the good cop, bad cop, love, tender love, hard love, and all that stuff. You give it all. And that's the cool part within that, your music. It's just like you're getting into it, and then all of a sudden someone else might be, oh, okay. But then your next couple of verses, bam, and they're like, aha.
It's been fun creating. Like I have about another 3 songs I'm going to be releasing soon. Hopefully next one in like a couple weeks. But with these songs included Control, man, usually I write, and these ones I literally just pushed record and did a couple lines at a time. So it's more like, no, it's not crafted. It's literally like what's on your mind and what you are feeling. And so I think that's why Control kind of came out like that, is because it's like, I'm not like writing it down or playing it safe or it's just like, here it is. You
It's
know,
just flowing, man. It's just so when you get into that flow and you get into that mindset, because sometimes I talk to people who do this, and it's like, man, as soon as I took the pen to paper, I started and I never put it down, and it was like an hour later, boom, done. And then the other times where it was like a week later, 2 weeks, it's just hitting. Right now,
uh,
with everything that you've been hitting, man, it just seems like it's just coming to you, like you're in
it's
a
been
zone.
nice. It's been nice. It's been really nice because for about 2 years, man, I was writing and it felt like a chore because it took so long, and I kind of lost a little bit of that passion that comes with it because it was super hard work because I would spend so long on a song, days or weeks, and then I would listen to it and I'm like, oh, this is trash, scrap it, and on to the next, and then it would happen again and I'm just like, oh, this sucks. It sucks being sucky. You know what I'm saying? And
The
it's like
thing
I've
is,
been
man,
here for months and I don't have anything, like, and so it became kind of like a chore, and so I don't want to say I lost the love for it, but the passion wasn't, it wasn't on fire, you know?
Okay.
you know what? I don't know shit about it, but you never lost the passion.
Ugh,
But it was just like just listening to you.
yeah,
It's just like you don't put shit out there, and
yeah,
maybe because for you as an artist, you know what's good and what's not good,
I
and
do.
maybe you were like, okay, and maybe it was good, but it wasn't Skylar Ray good. And
Yeah.
that says a lot to your fans because
Yeah.
like you said before, man, you're not gonna put garbage out, and you don't. So here, and you're doing the right thing by not pushing it, because that's like when I took a couple months off of doing any shows.
Yeah.
I wanted to, but it was like no, because I would I'd literally sit down here, get ready to go, and before I hit live, it'd be like trying to, okay, I'm going to say this, I'm going to think about this, no, no, fuck that, because it's not real.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and I couldn't. And then one day, all of a sudden, I just felt right again. And it's been off to the races, man, just like you and your music. How
Thank
many
you.
have you been putting out, or how often have you been?
Uh, I was at the beginning of the year doing once every 2 weeks. That lasted for about 3 or 4 months. And then I kind of slowed down. Um, I got distracted from with life, and then
Mhm.
tour kind of took off. But I'm kind of back in the vibe, man. I'm trying to get back to once every 2 weeks. To kind of, I don't know, as long as it's flowing, why not, right?
Mhm.
Keep
Um,
going, yeah.
and like, but like I said, it took a second. This year, I'm definitely enjoying music a lot more creatively than I have for the last few years, because it was like you start to get like an audience, and then it becomes the expectations. No one's harder
Mhm.
on you than
Mhm.
yourself, right? So you start to listen and you're like, how do I top the last song? People loved it. And then so you make like 5, 6 songs, you're like, this is garbage. This ain't even close, and then you finally come up with something good, and then you release it and you're like, well, how do I beat that one? you know?
Damn it, it just sucks being this good.
Bro, it's hard. I don't know. I give everything also like the Kayla check too. I make sure like the flow, everything's like the rhythm's good. I try to make sure like notes wise, the construction of the song, just because Kayla has a lot more professional music experience, and also it's another ear that besides just like me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Well, just like you told me that. What did she say to you when she was listening to you? It was something about
The beat.
you're off beat or something. But you
yeah,
didn't realize it. But she picked it up, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden you're like, And then after you listen to it, you're like, some bitch, she's right.
yeah. She right. She always right. Don't show her this though. Don't show her this podcast, but she always right.
We'll edit.
Oh my god. She right so many times. Um it's crazy. She's smart. But I mean that's the most attractive thing about her is her besides her love and careness and everything like that, I would say her intellectual is very attractive. Like someone that's smart and her hard work, her dedication, but also like knowledge just on life and things. Like it's so important, right? Because like, we got street smarts, but it's like education wise, like kind of lacking. Like I can do math. I can do math really good. I'm better at math than she is, but that's because money and drugs.
I was just gonna
You know what
say.
I'm saying? So it's like I can add up math so fast. Multiplication, division, not so much, but like we never really divided our money. Check it
No,
out.
it's like
You
it's
know?
like quarter, teen, or 8 ball ounce, baby. Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's times where like people are talking money, and my mind's just instantly adding, and I'm like, boom, and they're like, no, it should be, and I'm like, no, 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 it's $1,257. They're like,
It's
wait a second.
37
They're like,
cents.
oh, you're right, it is 1,250. I'm like, the way my mind adds money so fast is just boom. But
Yeah.
that's old drug dealer ways, you know?
Hey, man, it's got to keep you going. And you know what? Real quick here, I am
Yeah.
just what I see. We've got so shout out to Amanda.
Amanda Anders, let's go.
Yes, Amanda. Ty, my sister Ty over at Scar Nation. Kalisha, oh my God, Kalisha, I hope all's going well with you, man. We got to hook up. We've been saying that for months. But Kalisha, Dan, and Katie. Dan, Katie, I hope you and Katie and Little Man are doing good. And I know that OG, Ange is in the house from New Zealand. Scott, we got a New Zealand connection here. Ange
New
from
Zealand.
New Zealand is in the house. So just want to give a quick shout out to everybody there. And of course, as always, let's get a little shout out to OG.
Oh,
She's over there. She's literally over there. Hello. Hey, what's going on?
She's over there chatting, bro.
Yeah. She's like, I want a large pizza.
Uh-huh.
Send help.
These guys are nuts.
Crazy.
But,
Shout out to OG.
Yeah, thank you, baby.
Thank you. And she said that she wants to be busier. So if you've got any questions or comments for Skylar, for me, for OG, Pound Cake, Susie, let it rip.
Let it rip.
Caleb's here, Angel.
Caleb. So,
hey, Ange.
bam.
We got King Handsome in the building.
King Handsome, just so you know, I reached out, me and King Handsome and chit chat, and he is going to be a guest on the show. Can't wait. And also, this is King Handsome's son who just celebrated a birthday. So happy birthday to you.
Both of them, 2 days apart.
Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday to you both. I thought it was just the same, but
Hey,
you're the man. You're the man. King Handsome, please send your love to your sons, man. Happy birthday, man. God bless you. God bless them both. And Ty and everyone else, thank you guys for popping on with us. So if you got some questions for the one and only Skylar Ray, let it rip. And
or the Manny, or if you got questions for Manny, come on now. Our thing too.
Gotta love it. Thing. But so what else is going on? I mean, you're doing like once every couple of weeks with the son. When you're on tour, when you're doing your madness and you're in Houston and you're in Arizona and you're here. Are you just 100% focused on the show at hand? Or when you're sitting there, all of a sudden, like you're in a hotel, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, stuff pops in you.
I got two different brains. One is scattered everywhere at all times. I promise you that. I'm thinking about the most random stuff I need to do. My brain is everywhere. It's crazy. I really do feel like I got two brains. Because then I have one brain that like over obsesses over the task at hand, but like the other one's so loud that it's hard to focus. If that makes sense. Like, it is so crazy. Like, even like when you're performing, I could be fully on, like hitting all my lyrics, engaging with the crowd, making eye contact, like playing energy off of them. But at the same time, I'm in my head and I'm like, man, it's going to be nice to be in bed tonight. I wonder what Pound Cake's doing. You know, and I'm like, where should we go for dinner? As I'm rapping my ass off, you know what I'm saying? That's why I say I got two brains. It's crazy because, like, I be thinking about the most randomest stuff when I'm on stage, like spitting a verse, and I'm like, I just want to go home and wrestle with Pound Cake. Oh, I wonder if we got any hamburger thought out. You know what I'm saying?
Skylar, I'm the same way, man. I've always been that way, but ever since now doing this, I've always said, I got blender brain. There were times I was doing some shows, not singing on stage, but doing this, and I'm literally talking to a guest while we're doing our thing, had some comments coming on that we were engaging with while OG was saying stuff, and I was thinking about something else with another show that going to New York. I'm sorry, man. I was just thinking about your question while I was thinking about going to New York after talking to OG while we were just talking.
That's crazy. You know what's insane? I seen an interview. I might be saying the artist wrong, but I think it was Bruno Mars, right? Or no, it was Ed Sheeran. So it was Ed Sheeran. So somebody's backstage with Ed Sheeran and he's about to go on within like a couple minutes, and somebody's like playing him like a beat, an instrumental they just thought of, right? And so they're playing it for him, and they're like, oh, we should work on this, and he's like, oh yeah, yeah. He's like, that's cool. He's like, definitely we will. And they're like, oh, you're on, Ed Sheeran. So he goes out there and performs, like killing it, like engaging with people, all this stuff, and then he comes back and. As soon as he leaves the stage, this artist is telling, like, this producer's telling the story. As soon as he comes back, he comes straight over to me and he's like, I got it. I have the song written. And
Wow.
he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, play it. And he has like the whole song down from like the hook to like the back notes to the harmonies and everything. And he's like, when did you do that? He's like, oh, I wrote it when I was on stage performing. Right?
What?
Oh,
You can relate.
It's like, yo, how did he write a whole song? Why you would never know that why he's performing, you look in your eyes, reaching out, grabbing your hand, that he's writing a different song in his head. Crazy.
Well,
Crazy.
I think you can relate to that.
Oh, well, his might be on another level. I'm just wondering what Pound Cake's doing and what's for dinner. You know? I don't know if I'm writing songs in my head while I'm performing, but that just shows you like it's what the human brain can do
uh-huh.
is unimaginable. Like you would never like I'm guessing that story's true, but like if that story is true, which I would assume so, right? Like how crazy is that? Like,
You
how can
talk.
you, for your brain to write a full song, harmonies, backs, and hooks after hearing the beat one time and then going out on stage in front of thousands and thousands of people and you're just like, another day. And then you're like, oh, wrote the song.
Yeah, came back. Okay, I got it. Well, I mean,
Ugh,
that's just it. The passion, man. That passion and love is so intense, and same thing. You got it, man. And you're up there.
thank
You're
you.
focused. You're just focused. And like I said, I know it's broken record shit. I don't care, man. But because sometimes you'll listen to people put stuff out for just to put out volume of material.
Mm,
They put
yeah.
out more stuff to get more followers, more whatever, just more material. But you know what? You only get a first chance to make a first impression. And when you put something out there, man, that's your name. That's what that might
I
be the
take it
first time
very
someone heard it.
seriously. I,
You
I
can
take it very
tell.
seriously. Like my brand and everything, like it is. I think sometimes that's why there's a lack of content. I'm trying to get better at it and kind of trying to let go a little bit,
Mhm.
right? Because like there's so many stages of like content before it gets released. And lately I've been trusting myself because you're just like, do I like it? Is it good? Okay, now pass it to Kayla. Does Kayla like it? Is there any adjustments? And then it hits, right? And lately I just been like, especially with Kayla being so busy and I being so busy, me just like, this works. It's good.
Mhm.
It works. You know what I'm saying? For music though, it's like releasing a song. There's so many layers of levels of like approval. Even though it's just me and Kayla, like it goes through a lot. It goes through a lot. Like if there's like one bit that she doesn't like or anything like that, I'll change it. Like,
Yeah.
all right,
Well,
or if I think it sounds off, if I'm listening to it and it messes up like my head bob, I'm like, nah, we need to go back. Right. So there's so many things like that that is crazy. But
and
no,
it,
this weekend was fun.
yeah,
Uh
that's what we were getting into. So we did. I mean, you got to let us know. So you were how close?
I was 4 people back from the stage. So
Woo!
4 people in front of me. It was crazy. Did you guys have? You seen the picture, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Oh, and I went to his website Eminem.com and found the high res photos so you could actually see my face and see like Kayla's details and like the branding on her hat and like it was insane. So we went out to flew into Houston. The show was in Austin. We decided to fly out to Houston and stay in Galveston because we want to stay on the beach, right? But the whole reason for that is so when they found out Eminem was coming into town or it made like news and it was public, it was so expensive for a Motel 6,
Mhm.
which I wouldn't stay at, right? But
Mm-hmm.
for a Motel 6, it was $550.
Oh.
And like regular hotels that were like now you're kind of getting to like the level I would stay at.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? And no, and I'm not picky. I'm not. Kayla's more picky than me, but we usually settle with like a Hilton. That's like the
yeah.
level. So a Hilton's like two
Mhm.
to three hundred bucks, right?
Mhm.
A night, normal places. You
Yeah.
know, but like the
What were
Hiltons
they
were
going for?
anywhere from $800 to $1,200 a room.
Oh.
A
Like
night.
Oh.
it was insane. Like parking was like $150 if you want to park at the venue. Like it was everything was so expensive. So we literally saved probably a couple $1,000s by flying. The airplane tickets were like $500 to $600 cheaper per person to fly into
Holy
Houston
cows.
versus Austin. So we flew into Houston, stayed at Galveston, rented a car, drove to Austin, drove back. It's only like a 4 hour drive, right? But I would rather drive 8 hour round trip and save thousands.
Oh God, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What
Like
day was the show on?
a Saturday,
So Saturday. When did you guys get there? Was it?
Friday.
It was a day. Okay.
Yeah. It was so packed between that and the Texans playing the Georgia Bulldogs in Texas. So it was like
Oh
everybody was
yeah.
flying into Houston for the Eminem show or for the Texas and the Bulldog game, right?
Mhm.
All would happen in Saturday. So it was jam packed. All the car places were getting sold out. Good thing we rented our car way in advance. We do everything months in advance, right?
Smart.
But it was cool, man. We stayed at a beautiful hotel. It was like Galveston Island Resort, but it was like part of the Hilton chain. Um, it was really cool. So first we wanted to stay on the beach because we're
Uh-huh.
beach babies, right? And
Mhm.
we love our Laguna Beach, our South Beach. We have certain beaches around the country that we go visit a few times a year, right? And but wanted to go on this beach, and then we found out all the locals kept calling it chocolate milk water.
You mentioned
And we
that.
I
looked it up, and
remember.
it has like that flesh-eating disease right now,
Oh,
and just like we're like, no thanks. So story be told, we didn't even step a foot on the beach, which I wish we would have, because I wanted to like suntan on the beach and hit the pool. The pool was absolutely beautiful. It was really cool. Like Kayla's not in recovery, right? But I am, right? So they have like a 21 and older section in the pool where
ah,
you can go down, and they got their bar there. They'll serve you food,
Oh, okay.
they'll serve you drinks, root beer, whatever, right? But they have it where like you could sit in the pool, little bar stools in the side of the pool, and then you're sitting up there, and you got the little counter. It was really unique experience. Lots of fun. I mean, we were in the pool so much. Me and Kayla were playing water basketball,
You were
right?
waterlogged.
And the bottom of my toes were bleeding by the time I was
oh
done with the
my,
day
oh my goodness.
because we were playing for so long,
You
and
were.
Kayla was playing that defense, and I was spin moving on her. I hit her with a fadeaway. So as I'm like spinning and pushing, my little toes are pushing it on the pool bottom, and I kind of rubbed them raw. Like both of my big toes are like rubbed raw. These toes right here next to the big toes are bleeding. Like I was like, yo, rip my
They're
toes
like,
open.
man, what the hell's with the beach now? What the hell's with the pool?
You'll
Hey,
heal.
So,
I was in there getting it though. I was
man,
grinding and just
you're
hitting.
doing, yeah, you're making, poster, freaking advertisements going over Duncan.
Dude,
You
I was
just got
dunking it over
posterized.
Kayla. You know how many times I dunked it on her? Hey, she's like pushing. I'm not calling any fouls. She's like hitting. I'm getting like claws on me. I'm like, hey, and I shove her out the way. Oh, dunked it on her. Every time I dunked it, it would go through the hoop and bounce off this thing. And one time I dunked it so hard. It was the first time Kayla told me to be a little easy. Because I dunked it and it hit off the thing and bow, hit her right in the face. Hey, I was dunking hard as I can. Hard as I can. Just jumping. Just yamming it down. It was
Hanging on the wrist.
crazy. Hey, it was fun. If I could dunk, I'm all
Oh
for it,
man,
right?
too
Uh,
bad. Too bad that wasn't on video.
uh,
Oh, too bad that
we
was
should
on
have got that
video.
on video.
Yes,
Hey,
you.
I might get recruited. The way I was in the paint just patrolling,
Yeah,
little toes all bloody, just
Working
you know
it,
what I'm saying?
working it.
they call him Skylar Bloody Told Ray.
What was
What's
that,
up,
bro?
Bloody
You
Told?
dunked on Kayla? Bro,
You
I
took
dunked on
on
Kayla at
Kayla.
least 20, 30 times. Swear to God. Bro,
Oh,
dunked it on her. Like straight up like people were sitting at the sitting down and they were looking at us because I'm yelling,
You
just hanging from the rim.
you had fans up there. Next thing you know, you got some dude jump in with a zebra shirt on. He's a ref. You call fouls, personals, put
Hey,
up tees. How
it was getting aggressive. It was getting
long did you guys
aggressive.
play for? How long did you? Were
I
you in
mean,
there?
we we were in the pool maybe 10 hours that day. I mean, we've had to play for hours,
No.
probably
Shit.
hours,
No.
Oh
hours. I mean,
man.
we probably played like 10 games of 21. We played horse, we played pig, we played like 10 games of 21. Like we were getting it in. We were getting it in.
What, is there how many other people? Anyone try to
It
jump
was
in?
just
Hey man,
us.
we'll it.
It was
You
just
had to.
us.
Yeah, no
So
one wants
Kayla got
to.
all the dunks.
They're like, oh, we don't want no part of that. No.
And Kayla was trying to jump up, and I shoved her hands out the way. I was so aggressive. She was aggressive too. Don't twist the
Man.
story. Kayla was aggressive. Bro, there was a few times she picked my little ass up and moved me. You know what I'm saying? I'm backing her down. Like got the ball over the one. I'm like
She's,
throwing elbows, and she
I
just
was
picks
just
me up
gonna
and like
say,
moves me. You know,
did she catch a couple? Or did you get next thing you know?
I caught a few. I caught a few. She hit me a few times. I mean, we
Man,
having fun. You know what I'm saying?
oh man! Hey, you know what? After your 80 some tour dates and after all the traveling and all that stuff,
Mhm.
man, I tell you what, that you deserve it, man. You deserve it, brother.
It was
But
worth
for the
it.
show, how long? I know you were talking about. So no one opened, right? No
No
one
one
opened
opened.
for him, and he played for how long?
80 minutes. 80 minutes, 31
Wow.
songs. No openers. He had a hype man
Mm-hmm.
and he had someone to sing some of the hooks. But that was it. That was it. So it was absolutely insane. So it's actually a record-breaking attendance record for Circuit of America. The record was held by Taylor Swift, and he beat it. Over 100,000 people
And it's just
were at this
insane.
show. It was insane. Like, and not only that, but he went back and did multiple songs off of every single album besides one. But like, so 10, 11 albums, he did multiple songs, like songs from 1999. Like, it was like a dream come true show. Like, if I could literally go through each album and pick songs, that's
Yeah.
what the set list looked like.
Man,
Like, it
that's
is
unreal.
crazy. So
So he went.
it was a treat. It was a treat. Like it felt like it was like a concert made for the fan that's been following him forever that's never been to a show.
So it's everything that you were hoping for and more.
Everything and more, bro. That dude was
Man,
killing. It was so dope. It was
I
like it was unbelievable.
just
Like
hearing you, man. I mean, I know how excited you were. So when we were sitting there,
ugh,
like, and then when we saw your post, it was like, oh yeah,
it was
yeah,
it was
oh yeah.
crazy. It happened so fast. Like it like I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel. Like when you're sitting in line all day
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's talking about they've been following him since 1999 or since early 2000s, and some people are excited, some people like got their kids there, some people are crying, like all this crazy stuff. I didn't know how to feel, right? Because it kind of like minimized my feelings, because it's like, damn, am I supposed to feel like that? Like, are they a bigger fan than me? Like, why are
Yeah.
they crying? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
I
I'm
know
just
more than
like,
you do.
I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to process this. I know what I'm about to witness, and what I witnessed is next level. I know I waited my entire life for it. I've seen so many of his live concerts on videos. I used to have like 20 different DVDs from all the specials he did. I used to study all the stuff on YouTube. Like, I know it was one of like the best shows that I've seen that was like versus recorded, and that wasn't just being caught up in just being there, like master crafting it, right? You've had all those years of
Man.
performing all this stuff, and it was just like it was so unreal, and it was very, very healing, because that was the only regret that I had as a kid, because like that's the crazy thing. I had a regret as a kid not seeing him ever be able to perform, from foster homes to homelessness, getting out of prison. He's doing a show, the last show in 2018 in Hawaii, selling tickets to, right? So it was like I never had like a real shot at going, right? Because foster parents aren't going to buy you the tickets. You're
Mm-hmm.
homeless, you're on meth. You're not going to get tickets. You know
So
what
you're
I'm
trying to
saying?
figure out your math. Well, wait a minute.
Figure out my math, right?
Yeah, man,
So there
that's
was all this, and then it was like, so that's why I felt like the concert was so special, because there were certain eras of him that I used to love, like the early 2000s. He would, you know, certain songs, like right, like the Slim Shady LP 1999, Marshall Mathers LP 2000, the Eminem Show 2002, like all
Man,
these songs that you would never think that you would see him perform,
and now there he
right?
is.
Yes.
And
Wow.
there he
4
was
rows in front of you.
performing them. The song that he performed the most, the album that he performed the most songs off of is the Marshall Mathers LP 2000. I listened to that CD repeat, no other CD for about 2-3 years.
Wow.
I probably heard that album thousands of times, like no lie. I'd fall asleep with it, I'd wake up with it, school buses with it, recess with it, like that's why I talked about taking the batteries out the remotes. That was that era. And he performed more songs off that album than any other album. So the fact that like I got to witness it,
You
and
knew you were there?
I've always been jealous of everybody who's got a chance to see him come out with the chainsaw and the Jason mask,
Uh,
right? And he did it
Mhm.
for this concert. It was the first time he's wore the Jason mask and a chainsaw in 24 years.
No shit, man.
Yeah.
And I got to witness. I'm telling you, that is prime Eminem to the max. And I was like, I've always wanted that. I've always wanted that. People would tell me stories, or I'd see videos, and I'd watch the people in the front row, and I'm like, they don't understand what they're witnessing. They don't understand or appreciate or see the value that is happening on stage. And then when he
Dude.
came out with that, I was like, oh my God.
And
Right?
the thing is,
I
too,
didn't
man,
know.
with you, man. I mean, these other people, the fans. I mean, no knock against anybody, man. They're fans and all that. But you and Caleb being artists,
Awesome.
you're witnessing on so many different levels, man.
Yeah.
First of all, as a fan, but then as a fellow artist,
Mhm.
just knowing the talent, the raw
Yeah.
freaking talent, and you're witnessing it firsthand. Something that, I mean, you might have some people who are there just because they got a shit ton of money, and
Yeah.
it's the cool thing to say.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was there, and could care less if they were there. Unfortunately, you know, there are people. Then there's people like you and the other fans who it meant that much. So I'm so
I've
happy for you.
there's only a few times I've ever really been jealous of people. It's always been like they've been to an Eminem concert. I just thought that would never happen. And that's why Wo says that why you dunked on Kayla, because she's seen Eminem first. I think I mentioned it last live. She went to go see Papa Roach and Limp Bizkit, and Eminem was there, and she didn't care about Eminem. Eminem had the Jason mask, the overalls, the chainsaw, prime vintage golden era 2000 Eminem, Slim Shady, and she didn't care about it.
Oh
You know
no.
what I'm saying? And so like that's why she got dunked on. Hey, check it out. So that was one of the few times why I've ever been jealous is I used to stare at photos of an Eminem concert when I was a kid, and an early adult, and I would look at those photos and I would see the people in the front row, and I would try to imagine what it was like to be them, what they were going, like what they
So you're like
experienced
living through them, man. You're like
all the
you like
time.
picturing what they were seeing, and
Like
you were
obsessed,
there.
obsessed,
That
obsessed, obsessed. And it's crazy because now there's a photo on Eminem's website, and you see me about 4 people back from the front row, me and Kayla. Finally, I am in one of those photos, right?
Yeah.
It is
Kayla,
insane. But to witness it, like I literally didn't know how to feel. I was more excited after the concert was over than the whole day. Because after I
you
started
could process
processing, I
it.
was like,
You
oh
know,
my God, my
it's just
brain is exploding, right? And then I remember I went back, I went to bed, and I woke up a couple hours after I went to bed. And I remember just laying in bed for at least 20 minutes, just bright eyed, looking at the ceiling. I'm in the hotel in Texas, and I'm just like, holy shit,
what I
that
just
happened.
witnessed.
I seen it. Wow. I'm just laying there, just in the middle of the night, staring at the
Just
ceiling, just trying to gravitate and wrap my mind around what was just there witnessing.
that
Oh my
that's fucking
God.
that's beautiful, man. Just to,
Ugh.
I mean that is awesome, man. To have someone and the thing, brother. You know what? Not sound goofy and blow smoke up your ass. People are looking at you like that when they're coming to your shows.
That's
You're
crazy.
having that same
You'll be
effect
there.
on people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're having it right now. They are sitting
Yeah.
there looking at you, and then there's people who aren't there who are watching people who are hearing stories about. I saw Skylar Ray and I saw Kayla, and they're like, so you're doing that right now, and it's only getting better, and it's only going to get bigger, and we are going to be there to
I
witness
can't
this
even
shit.
fathom it. I can't even fathom that thought. I just don't know how anything gets cooler than Eminem with a Jason mask and a chainsaw. Like,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
they're gonna
I
be
hear what
spoilers.
you're saying, And I think my buddy King Handsome
It's
says it
coming.
best. He tells me all the time, like, understand how great you are, understand what you're doing, how powerful it is, how many people you are helping. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel special. I just feel like a normal kid. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
know how many times I mess up. I know how hard it is and how hard I work and how many times I fail before I make a decent song.
Yep.
Right. So I don't think of anything special. And my buddy Woe, King Handsome, he
Mm-hmm.
always tells me, he's like, you don't recognize your greatness because you sit with yourself every single day.
We're our
You
hardest
know?
on ourselves, and that's just it. And it's true, just like him, just like all of us, man. You sit there, and we're our own hardest judges,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing, because if you ever get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm there. Fuck that, man. You are never there. You always, at least in my mind, I always want more. I always want more.
Strive.
Always want more. And it's like nothing is ever good enough. It's good enough at the time. But yeah, man, I mean, you're doing that for people right now, man. You
That's
guys,
crazy.
well,
I just saw this comment right here. Straight up made that kind of impact on Whoville and I. Thank you, man. I thank you. I appreciate you so much. Tell Whoville or Whoville. Tell
who that?
Hulu. Tell
Who?
Whoville Thornton I said what's up. I appreciate you guys so much. He's a talented artist here in recovery here in Portland.
All right.
Thank you guys for showing support and always showing up and showing love. It means a lot. Um, I don't know. I guess it's kind of weird to think that like I make such an impact. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm lucky because I'm just being me and genuine,
That's what it is.
and
You're
maybe that's
authentic.
why it works because I don't feel like I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
anything special. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like I just show up and like crack a few jokes and talk about my life, and then I perform, and I don't know how that makes an impact, but sure, you know.
You're being you. You're not being fake. You're not being something you're not. Well, you know what? You're not. You're not being that kid who was talking about driving around a Ferrari and fucking these supermodels at 14.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
oh,
what that. Now you're
that
writing from the heart, and everyone.
yeah.
I mean, look what's happening, man. That's why I always said doing this stuff here. I'm not going to sit here and talk from a script and be something I'm not. And this is what it is, and that's it. So, but yeah, man. I mean, tell you, just King Handsome's right, man. Take a second and appreciate it because it's well deserved for you and for Kayla.
Thank you.
Enjoy your greatness, man. And it's not being narcissistic. It's not being stuck up. It's hard work. I mean, 80 some tour dates in a short amount of time, and 85, and then doing music every 2 weeks, and then doing speaking engagements and doing all this other stuff. Yeah, you're making a big freaking change in people's lives, brother.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know, like I always think doing music and making it on that level is the impossible. Right? I know it's not impossible, but I call it the impossible because you know how many artists there are in the world. We looked it up before how many songs a day get put on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
call
yeah.
it the impossible because it doesn't really happen, right? It seems like a phantom. It seems like somebody just gets plucked and stuck to stardom, and things work out, right? But obviously, it's hard work, and it's
Yeah.
crazy to be able to break that down and think about it, and to think about like how far I've already come. Like I guess me and Kayla are doing the impossible right now, right? So it's
Skylar,
go ahead.
I gotta break in because when you say impossible, if you take a look at it, it says I am possible. So
Possible.
I'm possible. It's not
Hey,
impossible.
hey.
It's I'm possible.
And you know what? To take a minute and look at that greatness like I was telling you about, take a look, not that long ago, man, living under a fucking bridge.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Homeless, selling that to what you're doing now. I mean,
Crazy.
it's a
It's
great thing,
crazy.
brother. But
Hey, the year of the underdog's coming.
that is.
The
You know
year
what?
of the underdog is coming.
Well, I tell you what, brother, we're gonna keep talking about all this stuff, as everything goes on too. But as we know, with Music and Mayhem, we want to touch on a little bit of everything. And as you know, I had some people after our last show when we were talking about the holidays and how. Remember we were talking about how drinking around the holidays and how sometimes it could be the happiest time and the saddest time of the year. And it was all about us and addiction and recovery. But tonight, man, just for a little bit, let's just chit chat too about something that's very important. And that's the people in our lives that have been there through thick and thin, which is our family, our friends, coworkers, associates, counselors, people we don't even know who reached out to help and support us during our active addiction and our worst of times, man. We were motherfuckers. We were very, speak for myself, I'm a bastard, man. I was a son of a bitch. And I hurt a lot of people physically, emotionally, spiritually, and they were there for me. And so now, man, we got to recognize them and support them and support our families and friends. And because sometimes we'll get people, it's just like, man, well, what about us? Yeah, we weren't the one doing the drugs. We weren't the one doing the drinking and all that, but we were there physically, emotionally, spiritually with all these people, man. So, let's, kind of give a little shout out to some of the families and friends. And because you make a presence in their lives too, man. You give them strength and support because they can relate to their son, their daughter, or whoever it is dealing with addiction by hearing your music and like hearing our stories of what we do and what I've done and with different interactions. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Okay, these guys have gone through it. So, I mean, your music is therapeutic in so many ways, not only for the addict, but the families too, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, loving an addict is not easy. Loving an addict is one of the hardest things you can do. Sometimes you wish you didn't love them because it would be easier to deal with the pain.
Yes.
So when I think about it, man, I've had to put a lot of people through a lot of stuff. I'm grateful because usually some people, when they're like, these are the people that's been here for me, it's usually just like nobody, right?
Yes.
And so, like, it's crazy that, like, I have people that love me and care for me, and it really is an advantage, I think about it, like my mom, I love my mom. See, I was the type of addict when I was using, didn't really stay in contact with the family.
Just kind of branched off and did
I
your own
branched
thing.
off because I didn't want them, for one, in my business. For
Sure.
two, I didn't want to hurt none of them. Right. So I kind of just disappeared. I disappeared. Every once in a while they would hear from me through like a letter or like me trying to remember their phone number for a phone call. But it doesn't mean that they weren't worried. It doesn't mean that they
Oh,
didn't
sure.
care. I more learn about what I'm putting my family through versus nowadays, now that I'm sober and I'm dealing with that with my brother in active addiction.
Oh, okay.
So I more know the other side now.
See, you got both sides of it, man. So, and that's just like, when I sit there and sometimes, as addicts, we get a little selfish. It's like, well, I'm the one that was going through the physical pain of the addiction, the physical pain of withdrawal, this physical pain of all the things that go along with it. Yeah. But, I remember sitting across from the table and seeing my mom crying her eyes out, pounding on her chest, saying, "You're breaking my heart." My own mother, and me sitting at the other side of that table just going, yeah, I could, at the time, because of what I was doing, I could care less. And that was my mother, man. And now looking back at it and smiling because my mom's still there and she's getting to see this part of her son. It just, it breaks me up every now and then thinking about it and how grateful I am for her, other family members and friends who never gave up on me. And it's, I've had some friends who are dealing with addiction who, dealt with it 20, 30, 40 years and become clean. And some family and friends were like, I'm done with you. I'm glad you're sober and happy and healthy now, but you've caused so much pain and heartache to me over the years. I can't get over that. To be there now, I'm happy for you. And I had this guy say, well, screw them, man. Fuck them. I'm going, it's like, whoa, you're fine now. And now you want all the glory. But for 40 years, you hurt this person so bad. So it's not there. It's not them. And I do have one person who is like my brother for like 30 plus years, inseparable. And now we don't talk. And, and it hurts. It hurts because I love him. And I wish we could talk. But I got to own that. That was on me. He didn't do what I did. But, for all of our family and friends, man, just, and if anyone has any suggestions for families and friends of what we could do to kind of, for people who are in active addiction right now, who maybe have a family member who are looking what they should do. And we talked about this a little before. Do anything. Don't never stop doing something, whether it is a tough love or do something. Be there. Listen.
You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. You gotta understand that not everything like trust and worth is given back.
Hmm.
You gotta understand that we've been ruining that trust for however long we're in active addiction, a couple years,
Mhm,
5 years,
mhm.
10 years. And, just because we're doing right in life, we got to understand that we still have a lot to prove to others, which is okay. Which is okay. We shouldn't have nothing to prove because we're enough for ourselves. But understand that when you do something to somebody, and they go through all that, it's hard to trust. It's hard to trust. Just like you got to think about, for the addicts that's out there, all the time someone screwed you over, ripped you off on money, shortened your bag, gave you fake stuff, girls or boyfriends that have cheated on you, stolen from you, buddies, that set you up, things like that, right? You have trust issues. And just
Hmm.
because they come back and they're like, oh, I'm good now. Like, I'm good. Here, let me hold that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're
Trust
like,
me.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Your history
Yeah.
kind of shows different. And that's the thing and that's why it's important, like, in early recovery to be enough for ourselves because we have a long way to go.
Yes.
And we always want the positive affirmations. We always want the gratitude being given and things like that. But it's like you got to understand, like, especially with family members, like we have a long way to go to be back in that circle. So that means when you do earn that trust, understand that it's a big freaking deal. It's
Yes.
huge. It's huge. Understand that like you have overcome that and now your family trusts you when they know for a big block of that life that you were not the one to be trusted, you know?
Yep. And then we
Uh
were the ones saying, this, I can't even tell you how many times this is it. This will never happen again. This will never happen. This was the last time I'm going to screw this up. This will never happen again. I've reached my rock bottom. This month later, so shit. So a week later. All
yeah.
right. Now this time, do you know how many this times I've had and how many disappointments in my family that I saw in their face from my mom to aunts and uncles, my goddaughter, my nieces, who I missed growing up and literally missed
Yeah.
their childhood, man. They were literally in my arms in a little pink blanket and now they're 20
Mm.
and that's on me. And, here they are, and the family and it's yeah, it's tough, brother. It really is. So for all you people out there who are the family and friends of people dealing with addiction, who are maybe now in recovery, God bless you and thank you for standing by them, standing strong, supporting, loving, motivating with unconditional love. Thank you. For those of you who are dealing with it right now in active addiction, who have heard the lies that I just said, addicts and people in addiction are master manipulators,
Yeah.
but
We're
just
so good.
remember that we were the term addiction and addict is a title and something that we've been that we earned that damn title. But before that, we were people. Before that, you Skylar Ray. I'm Andy Vitale. That's who we were before, and that's who we are now. So you're people before you're addicts, and just remember that we're still in here. But thank
Still
you
in here.
guys. Yeah, man.
It's important. Just remember to be patient, man. I'm learning a lot from my brother and his active addiction. I'm learning how much it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, come
Mhm.
on now. Like get your shit together. Like, I never tell him this. I just let him know he's loved. Trust me, I want to go over there and just wrangle his damn neck and like get his shit together for him and force him to do stuff. But
Yeah.
that's not an option. He's his own person. So it's just like, how's your day? I love you. When you're ready, let me know. How's your day going? Show him cool stuff I'm doing. Um, the engagement isn't really there on his side, obviously, because he's doing
Is
his
he a
thing.
singer? Is he an entertainer? Does he
No,
sing?
no,
Does he
no, no,
nothing
no,
ever have or
no,
no
no,
interest?
no.
Has he ever seen you and perform?
He has. He's been to a few shows. He's been to a few shows. He's been to a few shows. I know he's proud. I know he's proud and everything like that. I try to tell him all the time. I'm like, man, not every place you can go, but I was like, you get your shit together, like you could like do some fun stuff. Like you'd be right here with us, like the Eminem show. He would have been right there.
Mhm.
Different things like traveling, like bro. And I always try to show him like the good life. Like get your shit together. Look at the stuff we can do. Him. Like there's a lot of cool
Yeah.
stuff that I don't post online that I'm doing in my life, and I'm always
Mhm.
sharing with him. Like, what's up? Like this could be us. What you doing? What you doing right now?
Skylar, is
Uh,
he older or younger than you?
older.
He's older.
Yeah, Yep, he's well, so don't strangle anyone, bro. I won't.
He's saving that for the
But no,
flow.
he's 4 years older than me, so he's my big brother.
No,
You know.
well,
But I think about it sometimes because like now I understand with families like why it sucks to like have their kids or family members in active addiction. Because I think
Mhm.
about it's like we had up until 9 years. I went to foster care at 9 years old, so 2000, right? In 2000 I went into foster care. I was born in 1990. Um, but it's like we had those memories together, which memories don't probably start till 5 or 6. So 4 years. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Then it's still kind of foggy because you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like we had like a year together in a foster home. And then it's like I lived with them for like 3 or 4 months when I was 18. And then other than that, it's like I don't really have very many memories. So like, how am I 33 years old and he's 37, and that's my blood brother? And it's like I don't have no memories of us. Like I do have memories of us, but when I say this, what I'm saying is, how do I not have more memories than that as my brother? Like you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Besides him at a show or like this or that, like there's not very many. He spent, 12 years of his life locked up in prison. So it's like
Oh.
getting out, addiction, going back. Oh, there goes another 6 years, seeing when he gets out. So there's all these things, and you think about it, and it's like that is one thing that kind of bugs me. It's like we're grown ass men. He's 37. He'll be 38 this year. I'll be 34 this year. And besides the couple months, like when I was 18, there's maybe 5 or 6 times, 10 times at most that we've seen each other since 18 years
man,
old. Like that makes
Wow.
no
man,
sense.
Wow.
That makes
it's
no sense. Like
you know,
that's what I hate about addiction, because it's like I see it from this side. To truly love somebody and you feel like you're robbed and deprived, and it's just like there's nothing you can do besides lead by example. But even at
yes.
that point, it's like they got to be willing to see the example.
I mean, you could yell
Uh,
and shout and scream from the mountaintops, man. And we've all been there with loved ones who they've tried all the approaches. I've had the family, the yelling, the screaming. I've had the tears. I've had the support. I've had every type of motivation. And you put on the, oh yeah, yeah. I appreciate it. Shut the fuck up, man. Let's just
yeah,
get this over with. And
yeah,
that's how evil addiction is. But then when it gets to that point, it's like all of these things, like it's almost like a slideshow starts coming
yeah,
back of all these little interactions that I had. And it was just like this powerful feeling, man. It's just like I missed it. I'm so family oriented, man. And just the
yeah.
thought of the things, we'll never get it back. That's time lost. It's time gone. And it's time. So please, man, for all of you dealing with active addiction, don't ever stop fighting, man. Never
Don't
give up.
ever stop fighting.
Because
Go
mm-mm,
ahead, go ahead.
no, man, that's it, brother. I mean, and the thing with
Uh,
us, man, we're seeing both sides.
it's
Being
hard.
going
It's
through it,
hard, bro.
and
You
then
know,
when you
you know,
can get
it sucks to have like I'm usually the one in active addiction. So
that,
to
yeah,
get clean and be like, how do I got a brother but don't have a brother? Like how what type of bullshit is that? You give me a sibling and I don't have a sibling. Wait a second. So I have a sibling, but I can't spend time. How does that? So I can only imagine all the parents that are like, I have a son,
son,
but I don't have a son or
Mhm.
a
see,
daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think about that. I think about the pain that I must have caused my family, or the pain
mhm,
that
Yep. Yep.
addicts everywhere are causing their family, wondering where they're out at night. Now, trust me, now I get what the saying, like when parents would always say, well, at least when you're in jail, at least I knew you were alive.
yes,
Now I'm
no,
like,
that,
oh
yes,
shit. Cause I'm always, every time I'm upstairs making breakfast for Kayla in the morning, I see the news and I hear something, and I'm always like, we have this little part where you keep like all your dishes up there, and then you have the
mhm.
counter. So there's like this much space. And my head's like this. So anytime I hear like news, I'm like, waiting to see like, is there any names? Who was killed? Who was this? Who's locked up? And I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, go back to making my food, because the last 5 messages I sent my brother, no one answered. So I'm
you
like,
just don't
what
know.
happened? You know?
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
scary, man. And that's the thing too, man. Like I say about addiction, man. Addiction is such an evil son of a bitch. Addiction, it's cold, it's empty, it's scary, and it makes you think you're alone. It
Yeah.
puts you, it makes you to the point where you believe that even when you are physically surrounded by in the same room with family and friends telling you, crying that they love you, addiction is in your head saying they don't really love you. They don't care about you. They're in the freaking room
It's
crying and
crazy.
helping you. And that's how powerful addiction is. It's like, no, they really don't care. And the thing is, like I say, addiction is just not a fucking word, man. Addiction is something we're going to go to nose, toe to toe with. And addiction is just a word that can be beat, and we're beating it. And yeah, man.
It's wild. It's wild. You know, especially like I love what you say. I think about it like especially like the family. That's why it's like such a topic, right? Because like
Mhm.
being on this side now, especially like when my brother first got out of prison, like got out, they made him do like a couple extra years. He was supposed to get out, and then so then they're like, okay, we'll let you out, but you're on probation. Then it's like, well, that was never part of the sentence. And so he was on probation, and for like a year and a half, every like week we would drive him for like an hour and a half to go do his thing, UA, take him back, all these different things. And I remember, you know, when he first got out, I wanted to spend time with him, and it would be like, I remember I was going over this hotel he stayed at, and it was just like the company that would come around, and I'm just like, damn, I'm really like, you know, and I'm in recovery, and I'm like, I
Mhm.
can't believe I'm around this right now because everybody's doing their thing, which it didn't bug like recovery. So it's disrespectful to me, but like I didn't think about it like that. I was so strong enough in my recovery. This is only like
Amen.
2 3 years ago. 2 years ago, I'm
Wow.
sitting there,
Man.
everybody's getting high, and I'm just sitting there trying to have a conversation. My brother hanging out. They're doing their thing over here. They come back. I'm like, Andrew, you want to load up the game? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to
And
keep
it's
something
crazy
focused.
because it's like, it's a motel. So, like, everything goes down in like, you know. And
And
I
you're waiting
remember
for that door to get kicked open.
after about 4 or 5 times of doing this, like once a week, I remember I'd go over there, and then eventually it was like no one was there. Everybody was gone. And I was like, "What's up? You home?" He's like, "Oh, you go home. I'll be home shortly." And then like 4 or 5 hours, he would roll in real quick, and I'm like, "What up?" Give him a hug. You know, I have food that's been cold because I bought him food, and it's just like sitting
Mhm.
there. And then he's like, "I gotta run somewhere. I'll be back." And then left for like another 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm not coming over to play video games without you. Like, I'm literally in this house. If the cops
But
come in, you think somebody with my track record's gonna like convince the cops like that ain't mine? Like, what do
that,
I do? I was in
Oh,
such a
geez.
fuck situation. Like, what type of
man.
mayhem is this? Like, how do I
Woo.
like I like I'm the only one in the house if they come in right now. Like, this is crazy, and I'm sacrificing like possible freedom, possible everything
Mhm.
just to
For
see my
family.
brother. Then
Yeah.
eventually, like after that one time of doing that, I talked with Kayla, and we're both like, I feel
Don't do
really
it.
uneasy. Like, I'm just posted in this house for like 7 hours alone. Besides my brother coming back for
Mhm.
like 20 minutes. There's 10, 15 people usually going in and out. So you don't know whose is what and what is where. I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't search. I'm just on the bed playing the video game, waiting for him to come home.
Man, that's
Like,
scary
I'm not
shit.
searching any
Oh.
cabinets. I'm not searching. It's
You
none
don't
of
want
my
to touch
business.
anything. No,
You know what
man,
I'm
but
saying? But
still.
it's like, I'm taking a lot of risk right here.
You're lucky
It's
you're
God,
alive.
and you don't know who these other people are. You don't know who this stuff. And you know our past relationships, man. I know, like with my past, with dealing with the people I dealt with the motorcycle clubs and other people as well, man. I mean, you don't know who's who, and so yeah, for you to be there, not knowing, and every time that door opens, you don't know who's walking in.
You could have
That
died
was
of lead
sketchy.
poisoning.
It was sketchy, bro. It was sketchy to be in a trap house
Mm-mm.
and to be
Mm-mm.
completely sober. And I'm like,
That's
for
it.
once
To be
in my life,
sober.
for once in my life, if they bust through this door, I'm 100% innocent, and I'm for sure taking the fall.
Yeah, that's
Like,
just
I'm
it.
taking the fall unless I rat. And like, well, why would I
Oh my
rat? Like, this is
God.
crazy. I was like, I'm not comfortable because I'm gonna have to take the fall or become a rat, and that's two situations I don't want.
And for your brother to put you in that situation is
Right?
fucked
That's
up.
the addiction. That's the
It is, and
addiction.
that's what it is.
And I'm just like,
And that's how powerful it is, man. It takes over that stuff where, I mean, you got to put yourself at risk. That's on you. Now you're putting your family, who
that's what
is
I'm saying. Like the whole
recovery.
career, like I'm touring treatment centers for a living. This is like year one of treatment centers. I'm touring treatment centers. I'm speaking here, and here I am spending 7 8 hours in a fucking trap house, waiting for my
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
brother to come back so I could speak with him or hang out with him or spend some video games with him, buy him food. So eventually, I was just like, bro. and we stopped seeing each other way less because I've never done that again since that one
Mhm.
time was so
No, man.
uncomfortable. But I remember I just messaged him and I was like, when you ready, like if you need food, like let's hang out, let's go meet up at like a food place or like an arcade or like, you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Let's meet up
Yeah,
somewhere in public. You know, I'm
that's
not
just
coming to
it
your house
too.
to go inside anymore. Cause that was
No,
the
man.
craziest thing. I literally was risking my freedom for that. And I would have had two options if that police come in. Take the fall or become a rat. Like what type of
Mhm.
situations is that? The only way you get
No,
out of it is the rat? Like what?
Mhm.
Let
Mhm.
me just
no.
remove myself from this situation, you know?
And that's the thing too, man. When it comes
Oh,
down to it, it's not selfish. We gotta take care of number one. Gotta take
bro,
care of ourselves. You may love your brother, may love your family, but when it comes down
crazy.
to it, if we,
Crazy.
you could have got hit.
I
That
that's
could have
I
been,
would have got hit. I would have got hit.
yeah,
My record says that's mine.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it I was so uncomfortable. Like I just vowed to myself, I gotta have certain boundaries. Gotta have certain boundaries. I can't
Smart.
want it more than him.
Smart.
Exactly.
If he wants to do something, like
He,
I can
like you
go
said,
right
he's a
away
grown ass
whenever.
man.
If I'm at home and I'm not on the road, whenever he called like and wanted to hang out, like I would go. Wouldn't
Does
matter
he
what
reach
time of
out to
night.
you?
Huh?
Does he reach out to you on occasion?
Uh
Not
every
really.
once in a while, not really.
How many
Not
years has he
really.
been active? How many years in active addiction is he?
Maybe this time maybe like three,
Oh,
4 years, 3 years, probably
okay,
three
okay,
years.
okay.
Yeah,
So
probably
how long has he been using total? How long has he been using since?
Long time.
probably since like a teenager.
Oh man, so he thought 20,
27,
30
yeah.
years.
He went to prison at 18, so
Oh,
I think about it like my my brother didn't have really doesn't really have too good of doesn't have too good of genes. Like I think about it like we got different dads.
Damn
Um,
genes,
okay.
bless
fucking
my mom's
DNA.
heart. Bless my mom's heart. Love her to death, but
Bless her
she
heart.
has a lot going on as well. But it's like his dad was like crazy, like monster type,
Hmm.
like white
Gangster?
supremacist, like
Oh
you know what
man,
I'm saying, like crazy, like spent most of his life in prison for murder, was killing people inside, like in
Jesus.
the South Side of Chicago, running like the head of like white supremacist gangs and like skinhead to the max, like So like my brother has like a lot of
Mhm.
anger issues and a lot of like
yeah.
so him
Mhm.
being in prison for my brother's most of his life is like the norm to him. Like my dad did
Wow.
that. My dad, and now his dad is dead, but it's like
The memory lives
outside of
on,
Chicago
brother.
skinhead, like.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. I tell you, man. I
So
tell you what, brother. And that just goes to show you, man. It's just you can talk till you're blue in the face,
yeah,
and just like people talk to you, people talk to me, and you nailed it, Scott. What it's time is when it's your time.
Mhm.
yeah,
We can want it, but you can't. We can want it for them, but we can't do it for
man,
Mhm.
I'm telling you, like I put everything at risk, and it just
them.
got to the point where
Yeah,
it's like I wasn't cool risking it, and I was already uneasy, but like I'm risking it and don't even get the biscuit. Like you're not even here.
yeah.
Like at this point, I'm willing to take a dope charge just to play video games. Like, no.
Oh
Like I could buy a
God.
game station. Like if
It
that's what
came
I want to
over.
play games. And that's what
Oh,
Kayla said. Kayla's like, she's like turned about it. She's like, and I was like, well, of course I still want to go over there like once a week, like we always do. Because every week, like he was there, and then it was just us, and people started coming over. Then he was there less and less, and then he wasn't there, and then so like each week is getting worse, and it's like Kayla's like,
mm-mm.
like, do you have fun over there? And I was like, well, he's not there, so I just play video games. And she's like, what do you mean? And like I told her, and I was like, it makes me really uneasy. She's like, well, are you planning on going next week? And I
Mm-mm.
was like, I don't know. She's like, what? Just to play video games? She's like, we
By
could buy a
yourself.
game system. We could buy a game
Oh, I
system.
love Kayla. I love
Yeah,
Kayla.
Me, you, and pound cake. Me,
yeah.
you, and pound cake, man. We can do our shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Crazy.
what I'm saying. The stupid shit we do for people we love in addiction is crazy.
Mm-mm-mm.
Um,
It really is, man.
And now he has his
Wow.
court stuff. He has his court stuff. I take him to that. I take him to all of that. He's doing good with the court stuff. He's following all the mandatory check-ins. He has his little ankle
Good, good.
monitor. He has everything. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. Um, Proud of him. You know what I'm
Is he
saying?
is he working?
That is when I see him, is when it comes to court stuff. I make sure he's there. I communicate with his lawyer. I'm right up there with him, like, so
Mhm.
who
Yeah, you're there.
knows?
You're
Who
there when it
knows?
counts, man. You're there when it counts. You're there when you're there when those important times, and that's what family does, man. And you know what? Just Scott, just real quick here too. Looking out here, actually, I just found our old friend Karen Trouble. Remember with her, my Phyllis, fans of yours,
Oh,
and
yep.
Karen. Yeah, so Karen and Phyllis are here. Just another little quick rundown who we got. And remember, if you guys got some questions for Skylar or for me or OG or anything like that, let OG know, man, and we'll pop on. We'll get your, you'll answer your questions for you. We got Anne from New Zealand talking about some issues with her husband. We've got Rhonda Lee on here. Jared, I saw Jared on there from Define the Blacklist. Of course, King Handsome,
Yes, indeed.
Jason, Angie again. I mean, Tyler, who was just a guest on the show. I mean, all you guys, like I said, family. It doesn't have to be blood to be family. You
Yeah.
guys are family. And, and a lot of the people that were from my fight, man, they're like lighting it up. They're like, Skyler's
I see
freaking
him.
his
I see him.
music.
We
So
going
they're
through
coming
him.
all on you. And then a lot of you people too, man, were coming over to the page and hitting us up.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, that's what this is all about. And that's why I just wanted to hit on us with just the family aspect of how important it is. And, and we're doing it. And it's a beautiful thing seeing all these names, man. It really is. You guys, it means a lot to us, man. I mean, you guys hear Skylar, he puts his heart into this. You got to hear his new music, Control. I mean, everything else that him and Kayla do, man. It's just, this is what it's about, family.
Thank you. Yeah.
King's
What's up,
got
OG?
King's got a question
No,
for
wait,
you.
whoa. We got to give you some
For
camera
Skylar.
time.
Oh, okay.
There we
Okay,
go.
so for Skylar, King's got two things for you. One is how did you feel when you opened up with Kevin Gates? And he also wants to know what's on your hat.
Oh, so I was trying to get closer to the camera. So check it out.
Yeah.
So my hat, it is it
Not your
says
teeth.
Sawtooth,
Sawtooth?
Sawtooth Mountains.
Okay.
I think it's a bear, but in my mind, it's a root beer float. So a root beer
Okay,
float,
okay.
barbecue, and a spatula.
Oh wow. All right.
So we
What was
were
the other question?
on the way back from Idaho. We always go get we have favorite coffee shops all around
Sawtooth
the
Mountains.
country that we love
Mhm.
going to. And there's
Mhm.
one that is Sawtooth Coffee over in Idaho. Every time we go up to Rainbow's End, which is the people that actually gave me the hoodie that you
All
always see
right.
me wearing.
Mhm.
Nice.
But yeah, so check it out. So we went there. We were just looking for something, looking for little knickknacks, and I found this, and I was like, I love
Okay.
it. How did it feel open up for Kevin Gates?
Yep.
It was
Yep.
incredible. It was a dream come true. Like I told you earlier, I've only that I could recall remember truly being jealous twice. One time, well, many times with the Eminem. I've always been jealous over the Eminem thing. That's always been, but with the thing with Kevin Gates, like I told you before, I remember watching him over at the local theater and seeing the openers come out, and I remember tearing up and then tears coming down my eyes.
Oh.
And it wasn't that I was jealous of them, like I want them to not succeed or for them not to have their moment,
Mhm.
but I had tears in my eyes and tears rolling down my cheek because I was so, I guess, jealous and I wanted it so bad to be me. So the next time that I seen Kevin Gates was me opening it up for him at Spokane Arena.
Outstanding.
Man,
So it's
Outstanding.
I
shit.
remember seeing those openers and I remember looking at Kayla and I was like, we
Yeah.
gotta make it, like I gotta make this happen. Like we're gonna figure it out. And then like this opportunity came up and I was like,
Whew.
yo,
Meant to
let's
be,
run with it.
man.
Yeah, that's right.
Meant to be. That's awesome, man. I love that story. I love that
Thank you.
story,
That's
man.
great.
That's just cool as shit, man. And that's what I mean, man. Going back to that feeling, man, of that fan, being a fan first, sitting in that row,
Mhm.
looking up, and that feeling that you got, seeing him come out, that chainsaw, the mask, the overalls,
Yeah.
Yo,
but
no
then,
one beats
but you
Prime
know that
Eminem, Slim
feeling.
Shady with the chainsaw and the mask. Hey, they played like the death of Slim Shady tape, all these news recordings, all this stuff about him died, and that's the concept of his new album. And then all of a sudden you just like focused on like the set was like a graveyard, and then it punched open. He saw his hand
Wow.
poke through, and the casket
Wow.
came up, and it opened up, and he's like,
Man,
and I was like, yo, come
no,
on. I was
no.
just yelling, shady, shady, shady.
Well, and that's what I mean, brother. You are the people at your show are doing the same thing to
For
you.
you.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It
They're doing
blows
the
my
same
mind. It
thing.
blows my mind. It's cool, I guess. No, I
No,
don't. I don't say I guess like it's not,
oh
but
no, no, I got
I'm
you.
just saying it because it's trying to like put myself in those shoes, and it's definitely cool. It's an amazing feeling.
Enjoy
It's
the
just
ride.
mind-boggling.
Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
Just
I
enjoy
mean,
the ride.
the thing is too is I remember doing shows with Hard Knocks and those guys, and them saying stuff about doing shows, and things from the get go just started real fast, real good, and just it was like one thing after another. And I remember Dan and Donna from Hard Knocks. They're like, man, you're doing really good, but things aren't always this easy in this type of work. And I'm like, well, I'm not stupid. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, he goes, but that's what's going to create adversity. That's where we're going
Yeah.
to see what you're made of. If you're just going to talk or shit like that. And man, I tell you what, that's what I always said. This happened fast, and I know it could end fast. So I'm enjoying every second of this
Every
shit.
day.
Yeah.
That meeting you, and also not only meeting you, having you on the show, and not only having you on the show, now we're family. Now we're brothers doing our own show
Episode
together.
6. Episode 6.
And now, man, I tell you what, next year coming up, we're coming with you, man. We are going to be doing lives together somewhere.
Somewhere.
We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
We'll be doing lives, doing some speaking together, lining stuff up, just getting on stage and just tearing that shit up live. While we're still going to be doing this on our regular show, man, we're going to be doing all that. I got people still that are like, "Hey, what's going on with that? What's going on with that?" They go, "Hey, it's just in the beginning." But just because we haven't been talking more about it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It means it is going to happen. It takes baby steps.
Yeah.
Skylar and Kayla are a little busy.
Yeah.
It will happen. It will happen.
No, it'll happen. Yeah.
It will definitely 100% happen. We got King Handsome. He said, watching Eminem, did you learn anything you would do at your shows to enhance your show sets? One thing I would like to figure out is his breath control. He is crazy.
Oh, when
Well,
he
82
so fast.
minutes.
Yeah,
I
80
mean, I know-
minutes, 31
hey,
shows.
but
Like
just
he did Rap God, Godzilla,
Yeah. Oh
and
my
then
God.
Venom.
So,
So those are like I think one of those is in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most syllables in a second. And he was just
I read that.
just firing them off. And then like I was like, I don't know how he did that. And then his other second fastest song came on like right afterwards, and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. So like his breath control, like, oh yeah, I definitely got to get in shape because like this man was youthful. This guy was bouncing around the stage. It was every beep, every bop. He was boom, boom, jumping here, skipping over here, like hitting it. Like it was crazy. He had his timing down. Like when the drums and the kicks were happening, pow, pow, hitting shit. It was like going off, and I was like, yo.
see, and that's the thing too.
Probably just like his learning, his show set, his chemistry, with his own music, also like his breath control. It was something definitely to be studied. Well, I sent it to you. I found like the live concert. Somebody has it. It's not
good.
the official like high
Sure,
def quality, but it's an hour and 27 minutes, and I'll send it to you. Well, like it's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
the cool thing, Scott, is like I said before, man, nothing against the other fans that were there that were not musicians, but for you and other musicians who it meant that much is you're breaking it down. Besides, hey, great fucking song, great beat, great.
Oh, he was so technical,
That's what I mean. So you're tearing that apart step by step and being impressed that much more by what he's doing and performing it at such a high level.
It was insane to be able to like execute like that. Like it was so technical. It was like watching a master at work. I was just like,
yeah, well, hey,
this dude he just don't miss. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if you're gonna copy yourself after some, or not copy, if you are gonna learn
mimic.
someone, mimic.
I always try to mimic Eminem. That is the golden standard for me. If it's, I always think like, is it at that level? Could it be at that level somewhere in his career? And I think that when I release songs, Like there is no other standard. I don't look at no other artist that way. I don't look at, but when I every time, every single song I release, I always try to like sit back with it, you know, and I'm like, could Eminem have done this? Is it worthy of Eminem? Like, is it, you know, I
Ah,
always
Setting
think that because
those
he's
goals.
at such a high level, even if I only come 25% towards the mark, it's got to at least be somewhat good. You know what
Oh,
I'm saying?
without a doubt, man. I tell
So
you, without a
I
doubt,
always
man.
think that is the guy I mimic. That is the guy that my idol I look up to. Like, how do I replicate at a 50% skill level? Because I feel like I'll still be ahead of everybody, right? If you can do 50% of what he can do.
Hey, man, you get 50% of greatness, you're
still great.
100%
Still
Uh,
better than
great.
yeah, 100% better than average.
well,
And
you know he got Asperger's, right?
yeah, I heard that. I heard that,
Yeah,
but
so
I
he's
wasn't
he's he's
sure.
he's technically on like the spectrum, technically,
Mhm.
Okay,
because he has Asperger's, and that's why his mind works different when writing songs and putting it together. And
okay.
like the rhyming patterns, the syllable counting, just everything. Like
Wow, man, that's
everything's a big
intense.
old intricate rhyme. It's like he does like triple, quadruple entendres. Like the things he think of, like they're like he's one of the few artists that like every single song I listen to at least 5, 10 times, and I try to break down every single bar. And there's a lot of so many times I'm just dumbfounded. I'm like, how did he even think like that? Makes how a mind doesn't work like that. There's like what next level like what type of like dark magic is this? You know,
This
and
ain't
it's
real. This is no
because
voodoo
it
shit.
you know skill set and practice and probably a little
Mhm.
bit of Asperger's.
Mhm. Absolutely. Got
You
a
know,
question for you,
yeah.
Skylar. We got a Becca Watkins who wants to know what advice would you give somebody who loves to sing but is afraid of rejection?
Mm.
My best advice to you. I could
Becca.
give plenty of
Becca.
advice, but I would say that just do it. Just do it. If you love it, do it. It don't matter. One thing that's always gotten me through the day is you don't have to be the best in the room. You just have to be willing to outwork the person next to you.
There you
I
Yeah,
go.
live and
Very
die
good.
by that motto because never have I once stepped in a room and been the most talented in music. Never once have I ever done that. There's always a few people ahead of me, but I guarantee I will outwork their ass, right? And so
Ah,
that's
there you
why I
go.
tell you, like, I think about it, doesn't come down to necessarily talent. And that's why I say, if you love something, do it. Don't be afraid because everybody's better than you. Don't be afraid to chase those dreams. Absolutely do it. Absolutely. So, what
without a
advice would
doubt.
you give someone who loves to sing but is afraid of rejection? Just
Hmm.
do it. Just do it. That feeling's never gonna go away.
Yeah,
That's in your chemical makeup, your DNA. You're always gonna be afraid of rejection. Always, always, always. I'm always have stage fright. I'm always scared. I'm always stressed. I'm always can't remember any of my lyrics, and then the song comes on and it happens. Whatever happens, happens, and a lot of times it turns out good. But I'm super scared every time I go on stage. I have stage fright, like all these crazy things, and it all comes rushing in, especially being sober. And so you got to understand that, like, at the end of the day, if you love it, why does someone else's opinion
There
or
you
outweigh
go.
what you
There you
love?
go. There you go.
yeah. You know,
So,
Becca, the thing is too, man. I mean, I'm definitely no singer, but the thing is, when I first started doing this, the only thing I would say, be you,
Yeah.
be
be you.
yourself, be authentic. Don't sit there take advice and opinions from other people, but at the end of the day, be you. You know,
No
and
one, no
if
one
not,
can
don't be
offer
fake.
what you can offer.
Exactly,
No one could. That's
exactly.
that's what makes you unique. Everybody wants to copy the same thing and wondered why it doesn't work. And we're not talking about earlier, like you said, if there's
Yeah.
a path, you don't have to like create your own path. A lot of times you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's a path, follow it, right? That's how a
Yes.
lot of people
Yes.
are successful. But what we're talking about is, be yourself, be original,
Hmm.
100%. And that's what's helped me find my success is by being 100% me, authentic, and you will find your true supporters. You will find your true supporters, and
Mhm.
because you're relatable, right?
Yep.
But if you're being someone fake, it's exhausting. It's a facade. Are you always going to be on point with your character you're trying to play? And then on top of that, the people that make connection with your art, with this character you play, it's not a real connection.
No, it's not you. I mean, it's not who
So
you are in here. So when you're talking from here and here, and it's not you, you're not going to get that true feeling, man. So, but that,
absolutely,
yeah, I agree, man. Just be yourself. Be
be
yourself, and
yourself. Shout
and
out.
don't, never let anyone's negative words or comments
Yes,
affect your thoughts and your outcome. That's who
always,
you. That's
always
your.
do it. I couldn't
Mhm.
rap on beat for the first 18 years I did music, but I loved it. I loved it,
Yeah,
and so I
and
did.
you didn't
You know,
quit.
I think that's the only way that things are working out is because I was too stupid to quit. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
you love it, man.
When
It's your
you're so
passion.
stupid to quit and you love something so much, it doesn't matter where you start from. Or like, I am far from musically inclined. Like, I am far from natural ability. Like, it's took 2 decades to sound decent and have a product people like. So it's
Yeah,
like, and I know people that first rap song ever, first song ever, and I'm like, you are just so much better than me. How? How? They're like, oh,
it,
it's my first song. And I'm like, he's like 15-year-old kid. I've met this 15-year-old kid to come over and record. And he's like, oh, I've never recorded something. It's the first song I ever wrote. And I'm just like, this
bam.
kid is either like, where the cameras at? He lying because this kid is so much far superior than I could ever like think of, you know? But it's
See,
like, you got to imagine, just stick with it if you love it, right? And that's the
yes.
whole point we're trying to get at. Like, if you love it, do it. Shout out to my man Michael. I put his comment right there. Cool dude. We met him in Connecticut. He connected us to my guy Coach out in Connecticut. Um, but he got the Skylar Ray tattoo on him, so I had to pin the
All
comment.
right.
Had to give him a
Wow.
little love.
There, guys, show
Forever
some
Ink
love.
Skylar Ray.
There you go. We got that. And also, I just popped up there. We've got, we're going to be shooting off to, in June, we're going to be traveling to Athens, Alabama. I saw my brother Boston 2%.
And
And
Lori.
my sister Lori, we're going to be shooting out to Boston or to Athens, Alabama. And I'm getting me a Dubs burger. But, oh, yeah. So to Athens, Alabama, all I was going to say is look out.
Mhm.
Look out. Party's
Yes,
coming. There's
indeed.
Lori. There's Lori.
June 6th and 7th.
June, yeah, we will be there. And you know what? I can try to talk to my brother Skyler, and you never know who might show up.
You never know.
I'm just throwing
What
it
day
out
is
there,
that again?
Skyler.
April? April or May?
June 6th and 7th, I think. But we'll work it out. We'll talk off camera and see what we can work out. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have a few surprises somewhere.
Yep.
Who knows
6th
where
and
we're
7th.
going to show up? Because now, and I'm not kidding about this. Now, you know, it may be New York, it may be Connecticut, it may be Athens, it may be your hometown.
Somewhere in between.
You never
gonna
know.
we are going to be doing this in person shit. We are going to be doing this. So you know what? We will be taking all the suggestions and stuff. And Pound Cake has made her appearance. There's some Pound Cake.
Mamas,
Uh-oh.
Pound Cake. Show
he's
some
tired
love.
and grumpy.
Pound Cake's like Pound
Hi,
Cake. You
mamas.
grumpy?
You gonna say hello? Mama.
Pound Cake.
Mama.
Over here, baby.
Mamas. What's that, mamas?
Pound Cake.
Mamas.
They said, what, man? I'm sleeping. Oh, it's like, oh shit, that's Manny. Oh, hey, what's up, dog?
Aw,
That's my
little
Detroit.
babers.
That's my Detroit connection.
Yeah.
Welcome
But
to
no,
the
we
D.
definitely gonna figure something out, man. I'm
Oh,
Oh,
excited
yeah.
for it.
Oh, yeah.
No, really, we are, because I have had some people say, are you guys really going to do stuff together? Hell yeah, we are. I mean, we're doing this stuff here is great, but we are going to be, looking into, once you get back from doing your thing,
Oh,
we
you
are
go to
going to be
Europe.
sitting
Yeah.
down once you're back from, Spain, Italy, traveling all over the place. We got a lot of work to do as far as our page, and then, figuring out what states, where we're going to be, where we're going to go. Where's Waldo? Screw Waldo.
I'm
Where's
excited.
Skylar and Andy?
Hey, the
Man.
world's our oyster, man. The world's
No.
our oyster. It's gonna happen.
And serious, we are going to be doing this. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So keep your eye out, and we will definitely be keeping you updated, man. But
I'm super excited for that, man. I don't know where we
that's
gonna meet up.
That is going to be fun.
Another question.
Oh,
Yeah.
From your buddy Dan.
Danny, how you doing?
Where did you find a Nemo that big? It's on the video from the new song Control.
The reel I posted.
Uh-huh.
That was like years ago.
Oh.
So that was actually a deleted scene. It's not color corrected or anything. It's actually a deleted scene from the La La video. I
Okay.
found the old footage and I was thinking about it today. And I was like, man, we never used it. I bought this. So it's a remote control Nemo. So it's a big old like blown up clownfish
Okay.
that you could like control it. But because the wind was so blurry, like I made it and then it was sitting in the corner of the house for like a couple months. I was like, I'm gonna bring it out for this video, and the wind was blowing so hard.
Oh.
That's
So
all over,
I
man.
had a string attached to it, but I don't know. I found it off some little bootleg site off Facebook. So,
That's okay. It's famous now.
hey, let's go. Let's go. uh,
Danny the man, Danny and Katie and little man. Hope you
yep.
guys are feeling better. I know they were under the weather.
Mhm.
So Danny, to you and Katie, little guy, man, sending you some love from
And shout out to
Detroit.
Phyllis.
And
Shout out.
Phyllis and Trouble, Michael, Danny again. Let's see.
We got a lot of folks on today.
Jared's and I didn't see Brianna. She's there, but Jared and over at Blacklist, and he's got some music dropping as well. Check out Jared.
I was just looking for that
Lori.
comment. He said tonight, right? Or Saturday?
Tonight at midnight. So check out Jared Blaine tonight at midnight. Lori from Athens, Alabama. And then you got Michael.
Mhm.
King, of course, King Handsome. And King Handsome, we are. Oh, did you give a shout out?
Yeah, he knows to. He's gonna
Okay,
check
we
his
got
out.
you. We're gonna have
He's
King
gonna be on the
Handsome is
show.
gonna be on, Skylar. He's gonna be lighting this shit up.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
Becca, of course.
Whoa.
Rhonda Lee, thank you. Tyler,
Yep.
of course. Tyler Thompson was on the show Monday. Skylar, I'm not sure if you got a chance to see our man Tyler talking about
I
his
have not.
MMA.
I have not.
Mhm.
It's
I
out
left a
there.
comment though, and then I forgot to go back to it.
Yeah, good man. I tell you what, busting his ass doing some MMA. And our friend, our family member from New Zealand, Ange, she's in there.
She's gonna be on the show,
She's
too.
going to be on the show. We are so blessed and so appreciative of you guys. We are literally booked from now till the end of February. Every single Monday, we've got guests
Mhm.
just lined up. And also, a week from tomorrow, we are leaving for 4 days. We're heading to New York and then Connecticut. I'm going to be doing 10 shows in 3 days with
Busy,
Ian
busy.
Vick and our producer, Matt Cronin, Coach Dave, AJ Galante. There's other guests that are all lined up. We're going to be doing those in New York, flying back Monday of a week from Monday. Those will be edited. And those are going to drop. We're not sure of the date yet. It'll be.
That's crazy.
Well,
You
we're
doing
gonna
all
be-
that.
Oh, we're going to be every Monday. We're going to be doing our lives. Every Wednesday, it's going to be me and you. Every Thursday or Friday, we're going to be dropping the shows that we're filming in New York. So it's just going to be. And then Matt, the producer, he's like, "All right, man. After we do this, because we're planning to hit New York and Connecticut every like 6 weeks flying." He's like, "Well, we're going to get enough shows banked up. Well, we're going to take some months off." I'm like, "We ain't taking no fucking time off. We are going to be that and hooking up guests." Matt's got some contacts, man, from everywhere. So we're going to be traveling all around.
That's
Mhm.
gonna be so dope.
We're coming to see you, and we're going to be doing our stuff.
Yeah.
We'll
Let's
line that
go,
up.
baby. Let's
No,
go.
seriously, just think about that. When we're there, I'm going to get your information, all that stuff too, as far as possible places and dates and times. And when we're in New York next week, I'm going to talk to Matt, and we'll get things moving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get things
I'm
moving,
excited, bro. I'm excited. Like so much good shit is happening. Like
It
it's
is.
really that's why like I fuck with King Handsome is because like he moves in grooves, he figures shit out, right? He would be
Yeah.
doing this if I wasn't here. So that's what I love about you as well. Like all the exciting shit you're doing, bro. Like incredible. Like think about it. Me and you on this show, I'm doing crazy shit, you're doing crazy shit. Like what's next, right? What's next you're gonna look like? Like we both are like no
Oh,
one's dependent on anybody. Like you're doing you, I'm doing me, we do a show
Mhm.
together, and it's like
Mhm.
life is picking up. Like
it is. And
can you
now, like,
imagine the conversations are like the guests we could possibly have or the locations we're shooting at in a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now? Oh,
well, I tell you what, we're already being, like I said, Matt, we're talking, and some of the locations and some of the guests that are in the process. And we chat a little bit. We'll talk more about
yeah.
future guests as well. But man, I can't wait. Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit, baby.
You
The
know
limit
what?
stops at me. Let's go.
I've said it before. The only limits that we have are the limits we put on ourselves. And screw
True.
that. When it comes to that, we have no limits. We're gonna blow this shit up.
Mhm.
Hey,
And I
so-
love you for it, man. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This is six. This is
Episode
episode 6 of a shit ton to come. So
I'm stoked, bro. I'm stoked, bro. Like life is beautiful. Life is
it
great.
is.
Like
It really
it
is.
truly is, bro. Like I'm beyond stoked for you. Like
Oh, thank you, man. I
I'm just
appreciate it.
I'm like that's my boy Manny. Look what he's doing. Look who he with. And I'm just like You know how
And-
cool it is to be connected with somebody like you, bro? Like who you
oh
guys are
man,
gonna be like rubbing shoulders with and shit.
it's
And it's
crazy.
like it's insane because it's like all my people are getting like connected, and it's like who's gonna stop us from knocking down the industry door? You know
It's
what I'm
fucking
saying? Like
great.
who? And I don't mean that in no crazy way. I say that in like an excited, like giddity way. Like
Yes.
oh my god, like uh, I'm just proud of all of our hard work, man. If anybody's watching, no way whatsoever are we like we doing this, you not. What we're saying is like we're so freaking excited that like life is
Mhm,
working out. Like
mhm.
that's what this is about. This is about, the mayhem, the music, the life unfolding, addiction, recovery. Like it is really cool because like we don't come from very, very
No.
good starts in life.
No.
you know?
And the thing that cracks me up is I was laughing one time because I'm sitting here talking and I
Yeah.
can't remember who I was talking to, and I was on the phone and I hung up and they're like, "Who are you talking to?" And I go, "Yeah, I was talking to my producer about this show and editing this." And then I was talking to OG because flying out to New York, then going to Connecticut, then doing this, and then flying to Alabama, then doing it. And then I just started laughing. I'm like, I feel like I should bitch slap myself for sounding like such a fucking douche. And they're
It's
like, "What?"
crazy.
And I go, "But these are things that are actually happening."
It's
And the
real
thing is, and
conversations.
it really is. And it's not like it's just someone just handed me this and said, okay, I mean, this was a lot of hard work, man. And just like you and everything you've been doing. So this is the people and the places is such a blessing. And everyone, all these comments, this is about us. This is we. This isn't I, me. This is we. We all
This
go
is
for this
we.
ride.
We a team.
We are going on this ride together. We're all going to be at a meet and greet somewhere.
Yeah.
We
It's incredible,
Like
man.
family.
It's the journey, and that's the power of teamwork. That's the power of
Mhm,
recovery,
mhm.
and the power of unity, guys. So,
without a doubt.
Becca said, my lovely friend Becca, she said, "What's the best advice you could do if you love to sing, but you're afraid of rejection? You just go out there and you do your damn thing." Okay,
Mhm.
because it's about you and it's about what you want. Always put yourself first in this world. That way, even the ones you love most and hold closest to you, they get 100% in the best version of you. Like, and
Yep.
that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Stop waiting, go out there and take it.
That's
You
right.
know,
Because the only way you will ever fail in life is if you quit and
if
give
you
up.
quit,
Well, you know
if
what?
you quit, isn't that
But,
crazy?
but the
Isn't
thing is,
that crazy?
we are going to help all of us. That we motivate, support, push, drive. If this way doesn't work, we're going to find another way.
Mhm.
You know what? That's the
Oh,
way you do. So
the
back to
door's
back.
locked. I'm coming through the window, baby, or through the wall
Yeah,
like the Kool-Aid man.
yeah,
Oh
that's it.
yeah.
Man, my
That's the
brother.
crazy thing. That's the crazy thing, Manny. You don't fail unless you quit. That is like a
That's it.
lock safe. So it's like I'm gonna die before I fail because I'm never gonna quit music. So
Yeah,
it's
No.
like, uh, it's a
yeah.
good feeling to know that like it's impossible if you don't quit.
We have the power. If it's up to us, and we are not going to quit. We're not going to fail.
Mhm.
But
Absolutely. I love it. I love it,
my
Manny. I love you. This is episode 6, by the way. About
Yeah.
to be wrapped in the books.
episode 6 with my man Skylar Ray.
Woo, Skylar.
Check out Control. Check out Skylar Ray.
Check out
Check out.
Control.
Oh my God! It's one of many, and he's just going to keep releasing, keep working.
Mhm,
Check and give Kayla our best, and we love her, and of
I
course
got you.
Pound Cake.
mhm.
And of course, OG, thank you for another awesome job. And to everybody who chimed in with comments and questions and concern, just
Yes.
being there, just saying hi. We love you
Just-
guys. This is all possible because of you guys. So thank you so much. Check us out next week. What are we doing next week?
Don't worry
Next
about
week,
Oh, wait,
episode
no.
52, we will be
Oh, yeah,
shooting from the moon.
Wednesday. And we are, it
It's
is going to be
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Back to the Wednesday.
All right. So next week, Wednesday.
Mhm.
Which,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. Did we make this is a very important announcement for next week? Okay. Well, first, it's going to start on the 29th.
Oh,
Just so everyone knows, October 29th is a very special day as well. It's somebody's birthday. And that somebody's sitting next to me.
woo!
Who, Susie?
So,
Susie has a birthday?
Like meet you in
Yeah.
person.
so the 29th, next Tuesday,
That's my
is
birthday.
OG's birthday. And
Then the 30th.
Wednesday, Devil's Night, is the old man's birthday.
Mhm.
So we're going to have a birthday party on our show, Music and Mayhem.
That's right.
Hey, you from Detroit, so you call it Devil's Night.
Devil's Night. I was born on
Absolutely.
Devil's Night.
So Devil's Night is Halloween. If y'all don't know, y'all better get hit. Y'all better go streaming right now. Devil's Night.
Hey,
Devil's
we might have another
Night.
song. That could be. Hey, just saying, the
That'd be a
next
good
song,
title for a song.
it
Devil's
could be
Night.
for my brother in Detroit. Devil's Night.
Devil's Night, baby. Let's go. Detroit, what? You signed me up to battle?
Well,
Right.
Eminem lives here, maybe.
Well, we'll be working
who knows?
something out,
Yeah.
man. But I love you, brother. Thank you for another kick-ass show. You have
Let's
a
go,
great
baby.
night,
Let's
man.
go.
We will be chit-chatting soon. You got anything before we sign off here, Skylar?
Nah, I mean, I guess, yeah, if you guys listen, if you guys have a dream, go out there and chase it, man. Don't be afraid to fail. Just understand nothing comes easy. And if you love it, then like
Yeah, who cares?
don't be
Just
impatient.
enjoy.
Don't be impatient. I know you guys see the memes of that guy who's digging and he gives up. There's like a sliver like this before he reaches all the diamonds, right? That could be you. So just be patient with yourself. Be enough for yourself. Always, always, always go chase those dreams. And to anybody else, thank you so much, Manny. Thing, I appreciate you guys. Let's go.
I love you, brother. We
Next
will be
week.
talking soon, my man.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right, man. Love you, Skylar.
Love you too, guys.
Right.
All right. Well, hell, we can say at every show, man, it's just getting better. We're getting
The
closer.
energy is
We're just
amazing.
starting, and it's just the beginning. This is show 6, man. And just that connection. We both knew it from that first show that we did when he came on as a guest.
Mhm.
I knew from that. I told you, I said, I know shit's going to start happening. I just feel it. And when I started talking with Skylar before the show, what I tell you, this is it.
Yep.
This is going to roll
Yep.
into something.
Yep.
And here we are setting up meet and greet, setting up all this other stuff. So please check out Control with Skylar. Please check out him and Kayla, their music.
Mhm.
It will change your life, man.
Mhm.
I tell you what, he
They're
is singing
They're
from the
great.
heart. He's singing from the soul. He is authentic as they come, man. So please check out my brother Skylar Ray and Kayla.
Ooh, love them.
Yeah, that's like I
Love
said, that's my brother.
That's
So
right.
you guys, thank you so much. Oh, gee, you got anything before we leave?
Just enjoy the day. Just enjoy every day. Every day's a holiday.
Yeah.
Every day's a birthday. But sometimes they're more special birthdays.
Yep. And then again, man, just please remember, the only way you will fail is if you quit and give up.
That's right.
So just keep, like my brother said, follow your dreams. And as we always say, keep fighting the good fight. Love you guys.